toast to their career.
The perfect combination, boy.
Him hard, legends in the South.
This is sports fans' only home for the hottest sports show around. These guys are on fire.
You're now listening to KJ and Sean Mack. Now let's talk some damn sports.
Thanks for tuning in, sports fans only. See you back with another video. On deck, AJ Usyk. Shouts out to Team Usyk. He did a real good job last night. I wouldn't say that he was the underdog, but well, yeah, he was the underdog. But he definitely didn't fight like the underdog. He made AJ fight like he was was not the better favorite. So I want to say shouts out to Team Usyk. And in his game plan, you could see. Lomo's father, you can see his game plan all over Usyk last night, the way he moved around, the way he circled, in and out, putting the pressure on AJ. And starting off with AJ, all-around bad game plan by him and his team. Rob McCracken and those people that circle, I'm not sure why would they drop that game plan to try to outbox the boxer like that. I think I said in videos before that Usyk would definitely have the advantage in the middle of the ring that AJ would have to try to use his size advantage to push Usyk to the ropes and, maybe start to land some shots like that. But in the middle of the ring, it was definitely going to be advantage Usyk, and that's exactly what happened. And AJ, he didn't fight at the right range, the right distance and everything like that. I was really expecting a bunch of uppercuts and left hooks and things like that, but seemed like they were in that mid-range where you kind of stifle your offense a little bit, and you were there to get hit, but you're not delivering. I think he definitely had to close the distance on Usyk and maybe make it a rougher fight, a tougher fight, an uglier fight, maybe a lot more clinching. I mentioned that earlier. So just all around bad for AJ. I think he definitely should get rid of his trainer, get a new trainer, somebody who's dedicated, focused, and can actually draw up a game plan. I mentioned earlier in videos, I think the first AJ video I ever did that I think he definitely should call Eddie Reynoso and get some time in with them. They didn't really make a game plan specifically for Usyk. It seemed like they just came with we're gonna move around, try to trade shots in and out. But AJ, bad defense. He didn't, chin was up in the air, hands were kind of wide, should have been chin down, tucked behind the guard, coming forward, pushing, pressing, getting Usyk to giving him something to think about. And but instead, Usyk, he did almost everything right. He wasn't stationary. He would kind of get AJ's attention with that right hand and then slide that straight down the pipe. And AJ really couldn't stop that at all, which was crazy. So I gotta say, just all around bad game plan. He didn't fight to his size. He basically, in my opinion, him and his team, they gave that fight to Usyk. Not taking anything away from Usyk, but that could have been a much tougher fight for Usyk. Instead, he put hands all. He straight dominated AJ. That's the best thing I could say is he dominated, kind of shut down AJ. I'm not sure if AJ won more than 3 or 4 rounds. I think maybe 3 rounds. Unanimous decision for Usyk. So I think definitely he didn't fight to his A-side potential. I think he should have just pressed with that fight. And this is kind of bad because not everybody, most people, I think YouTube, it was 68%, the poll was 68% people voted that AJ would win by unanimous decision. So this kind of, it takes away from, we're going to get Fury and Deontay Wilder soon. So AJ right now is out of the picture. There is a rematch clause, but who knows how that's going to go. Maybe they can get it in February, then you never know. Maybe it's going to be pushed way back to like maybe April or March. March or maybe May. But I would say it's not going to do any good. AJ won't win this fight. His career is going to be definitely in a downward spiral if he doesn't get rid of his trainer. If he enters into the rematch with the same trainer to go against Usyk, it's going to be the same outcome. I heard Fury months ago, he said that his only competition in the heavyweight division probably will be Usyk because of his movement and his slick style. Usyk is not a big puncher. He can punch, but he's not a huge puncher. And he actually had AJ looking bad at certain points in that fight. So I would say right now I'm going to move on, switch gears. Shouts out to Team Usyk, to that whole camp. They prepared well. AJ definitely career going career going bad with this training camp and these people in your circle. You know, so I think he definitely needs to rethink everything. He's already ready. He said he couldn't see in the ninth round, past the ninth round that he couldn't see. So he's already ready. He said all the right things. He just needs to change his circle. He's ready, competitive. He still wants to get his belts back, which but it's a shame that he lost those belts. So I'm gonna move on to Deontay and to Deontay and Tyson Fury for a little bit. So that's coming up. I believe it's gonna be October 9th. So. Right now, a lot of footage. Deontay, he's still doing his thing. I still haven't seen much of the sparring. Tyson Fury, a lot of statements. He's saying that he's not training as much as he should. He's only training a little bit, but he's ready, and he's still thinking that he's going to stop Deontay Wilder. So that's going to be coming up shortly. I have to say, right now, I'm still sticking with Tyson Fury over Wilder. For some reason, I feel like Deontay Wilder's going to come out. He's talked that he's training for the boxing. He looks like he's ready, but I think he's coming out to explode on Fury and take him out. He's already working on his new costume. He wants to definitely come out in another costume for this fight, which I think totally is irrelevant. He should be focusing on the fight and the damage he's going to do, trying to get back. He's lost 2 fights. Well, he had a draw, and then he got TKO'd against Fury. So I think the last thing he should be thinking about is how his attire is going to be, what he's going to be dressed like. And that fight's going to be coming up soon. I'm still picking Tyson Fury to dominate in that fight. I think if Fury come out and put Deontay on the back foot, that'll erase everything that he's doing in training, because nothing he's doing in training is showing that he's preparing to fight, going backwards and slipping punches. I think he's coming out with an offensive barrage that probably, we all know Deontay, if he connects, it's lights out on most people, but I think Fury is comfortable fighting. I think he's already found his range for Wilder, so I think he's gonna compound on what he did in the last fight, and I think that he's gonna be able to have his way. I'm feeling with Deontay Wilder. If not, then Deontay, if he would win, I believe it would have to be by KO. I don't see him outboxing Fury. I don't see him being able to do what he wants to do for 12 rounds without getting overzealous and going for the big punch. And I put myself in Deontay Wilder's position. Blessed with that talent that he has and the strength and the power, I would find a way to set up my offense to take out Tyson Fury also. So I think that's his only way to win is by knockout. I'm still going Tyson Fury. And shouts out to Team Usyk, AJ, back to the drawing board. And your career, I think, is going to downward spiral if you don't get rid of Rob McCracken and all those people in that circle. They should not have a job training you anymore. You need somebody who's going to dedicate themselves. Check out Eddie Reynoso. If you like the content, subscribe, Sports Fans Only. Like, share. Peace.